If you want to serge elastic on with the perfect, consistent resistance, you are going to want to use the elasticator attachment found in the utility foot kit. If you're an owner of a Husqvarna Viking Amber Air S400 or a Pfaff Admire Air 5000 air-jet threaded serger, we are going through all the feet that come in the utility feet kit, and there's a ton of them actually. So one of them is going to be the elasticator. There's a gathering foot, there's a blind hem foot, there's a gathering attachment, and even a cloth guide. So I'm going to be showing you all these accessory feet. Of course, I'm Sarah. I'm the one who does all the free videos on machines at sewingmastery.com, where we've actually done all the videos on these two sergers, the Husqvarna Viking and the Pfaff. They're practically identical sergers, and they have so many capabilities. So we did a video on every page of the manual, so you can see how to thread it, all the different uses of all the different stitches, how to take care of it. So make sure you check out the links below for all the foot videos, plus all the tutorials on these machines. But I want to really get into, first off, in this video, showing you what and how an elasticator attachment works. So I said attachment because it's actually not a foot. It is actually going to attach to the front of the machine. You use it in conjunction with your standard presser foot, but I want to show you how we're going to be loading this so you can see what adjustments and potential this has. So you're going to take your elastic and you're going to find that this little slide can adjust for narrow elastic and wider elastic. So see how that little mouth is kind of getting wider or narrower? So as you slide your elastic in, make sure that the guide is as loose as possible to help you slip it in the easiest. And once it's in here, let's go ahead and first kind of match it to the side. So see how it's going to just keep that perfectly guided in that mouth. And then the next thing is how tight, how much gathering do you want the elastic to do? So as you tighten this, you'll feel you'll have a little bit more every time you give it a turn. So right here, it's going to be really, really tight. It's going to really gather up the edge of your fabric. So whether you're doing home deck items, aerobic wear, swim wear, all those different things. So depending on where you're putting it will depend on how tight or loose you want it. Since we're just using a basic 4-thread overlock, you will be able to easily take some elastic, do a little testing, and find out how much gather you really need. So next, let me show you where you attach this to the machine. So you notice right on the inside here, there is an opening for you to slide this in. But before you slide it the first time, you are going to need to open up the side door and loosen this screw. So once it's actually opened, when you slide it all the way in, it goes behind the screw, and then you're going to tighten it so it's held in place. Close up the door and you're ready to use it. So I have some really stretchy Lycra, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when you add it to the edge. Now, do you notice something there? This is our Sewing Mastery logo, and yes, you can have your own Lycra printed with your own particular pattern or image or such, and this is done at spoonflower.com if you want to print any of your own fabrics, and they have so many to pick from. I'll put links below this YouTube video for you to check out. So yes, recently I ordered myself 2 yards of sport Lycra with my logo on it. So for settings, again, we're all just a normal 4-thread overlock. And again, I'm going to, as I stitch, tighten this a little bit as I go down the row of fabric. Now, I have more fabric than elastic. So why is this so important? The importance is and when you start and stop, this is going to keep consistent pressure on the elastic. So it will easily be guided as you work your way around the edge of the fabric. Now, as you get it a little tighter, you might need to lengthen the stitch length so it still pulls in at a nice amount of stitches and it doesn't start to pile up. I'll show you what I mean when I'm done. But I can go ahead and crank this down for a lot more gathers. I've even seen people do like crib sheets with this technique, and where you add the elastic to just the corners around the sheets. Of course, your regular sheets. So if you're really fond of a nice fabric, you can easily go ahead and buy your own fabric and make them fitted with no problem. Now usually what I do is I leave my elastic in there and then keep on stitching. So you can see as I went, and this is where I got really too close together and it kind of wanted to pile up, but look how much it really can be placed. Now that was a lot of gather, so that might be a little bit much, but in those corners where we were talking about the sheets, that would be just right. So the nice thing is that you can then turn it over if you want. You could do a little twin needle or cover stitching if you have a cover stitch machine, and top stitch that really nicely in place for what you're working with. And just like this, take a strip of fabric, test the different consistencies of how much, because every elastic is a little different and every fabric's going to handle a little different. Definitely don't forget to lengthen out your stitch length for the optimum use. So make sure you check out the links below or at the end of this video where you can see all the other feet that come in the utility foot kits.